when you say fighting career, it's a bit different with myself, so to speak. It's a different sort of journey. When it comes to fighting, I've been involved in fighting here and there, having to defend myself outside of gym training, but I think fighting in terms of competition and what have you, it really boils down to when I eventually went down to KO East London, where I was learning Thai boxing, and I was learning it for my own personal reasons, so to speak. Having been in certain situations on the street, I've been in fights where I've pushed in my knuckles and dislocated my shoulder and things like that. So I just I dabbled in other martial arts and stopped after a while, because to me it wasn't what I was looking for in terms of if I had to really throw it down on the street, so to speak. So I think I went to East London, and when I saw Muay Thai, it challenged as in my mindset in terms of fighting, and I wanted to sort of master it, whether it's sparring with fighters who are fighting as a career, and picking up stuff from there, so to speak. So it wasn't an aim to go there to have a fighting career as such, but I did compete then, and I did well whenever I competed.
Okay, thank you very much. So, what was it that actually made you stop fighting?
Okay, when it comes to competitive fighting, I found that when I was training to compete, at that time I had a family and a business, and things would go backwards on my business, so to speak. So I tried to take some time out, and then I basically I got involved in an accident, a freak accident, where my elbow actually pulled out of its socket. If I was to show you a picture from when it actually did happen, you'd actually be surprised at how I'm able to move it quite well, but it totally came out of the socket, where paramedics had to be called. They had to put me to sleep when they realised how bad it was. Took me to Mayday Hospital. I woke up and that they had already operated on it, and upon eventually going to see the doctor with my wife, they explained how bad it was, and I remember the first thing I said to that doctor was, just answer me one thing. Do you think I'll be able to fight again or compete on a professional level? And the doctor said no, because of the risk involved with that particular injury, and what professional fighting involves. It's not going to work. So I remember coming out of the hospital, the room that we had the meeting, and the first thing my wife said to me is, "How do you feel, Sam, knowing that you might not be able to fight or compete again?" And I just said, "Look, at the end of the day, that's man's opinion, and if I'm going to fight again, if God wants me to fight, if God permits for me to fight again, I will fight again. So I'm not going to go on that particular person's opinion." But I had to go through physio for a very long time. I had to go certain times of the week, and it was quite frustrating for me, because as a young lad, I've always been active. So to have that restriction on me, sometimes I would wake up and say, "Why me? What did I do to deserve it?" so to speak. So I was quite down at some point, and then when I could finally move it a little bit, I just decided, let me get on with my life and get on with work and train once in a while. And funny enough, it was someone that was kind of like a student that motivated me by constantly calling me to train them. And one day I just said, "Okay, I'll train you. I'll carry on training you." And then as I started training them again, I started missing the training, and then I just worked around it. Even if it means as I'm skipping, my arm is aching, I'll just keep quiet, keep it to myself. And I didn't really, apart from the person that was there at the incident and my family that knew of it, I didn't really go on about it or complain about it. That's just the way I am. I think, having been brought up in Ghana and having the toughness of life, you just don't make excuses, and you just get on with it, really. So